These houses are all built on like stilts. I think it's because it's all floods, follows the Missouri River. Village of Big Lake. What's Callie think of this? Direct to YouTube. Oh, that's trippy. See, they their houses are built on top of their garages and stuff. Beautiful scenery. Peterbilt. That's a pretty good sized lake out there. That guy, he's out there having fun. He's freaky architecture. But I can see it because I wonder if that, you know, when it floods, like that thing fills up. Obviously, this has been underwater up through here a few times. Anybody wondering where this is at? It's southeast Nebraska. Yeah, it all looks like that house there. If anybody can see that. Freaky. That is a huge campground over there, and there's a lot of people there. Yeah, they're all waiting for a tornado. Callie does not find my jokes funny whatsoever. See, she turns away from the camera. Is there any 14-year-old boys that watch this channel? Oh, hey guys. Getting ready for fall here, so it's about time to start getting the corn head out and getting things ready with it. This corn head, the model 4408, right there you can tell. That's 4000 series, 8-row, and it's 30-inch, big number 30 there. And this particular head's a 2014. It was the first fall that got rammed. And these heads had they had some updates on them recently done by Case. I don't know where the serial number breaks at from where this one's at to where the updates are at. But basically, these were a glorified old 1000 series corn head. And so I thought I'd talk about corn heads today in the video. And I want to see if I can maybe edit this video together a little bit so I can maybe get you guys a picture included in with it. But there's our row unit, and hopefully I can edit this so you can see the new one. Well, okay, just like everything new that always comes out, they build it, then they continuously change it, then they change model numbers. It seems to be the name of the game with the equipment companies these days. But this is a 4408 corn head again, and I think 14 was around the first year that these new series came out. They were previously like a 3000 series head. And when you have an international combine, you basically don't have a header. I like international combines; they're a good combine. But if you're really looking at a good quality corn head, John Deere's a much better head than international on the basis of just the row unit. The poly, the frame, everything else is international is just fine. And a few things actually are a little better than John Deere, such as the way that the end snouts raise. They actually tip up just like the others, versus John Deere, they actually tip out to the side. So, good head, but they did a poor execute in their row unit. And one of the things that's the biggest failure on this row unit, if you look down from the front, you see a big gap right there between them input rolls. And it is very, very difficult to get a corn stalk to stuck in there. You basically have to just kind of shove it down the row to get to pull anything in. The new header, as you saw in the pictures probably, that they have a much bigger cone on the front. And one of those is $165 and one's $169. Plus you have to change a weed knife, so you're looking at about $300 per row to change that out. But this head is just no good. There's just literally no pull here. But could you trade a head for what you could update these roll or these inputs for? Probably not. They do have some updates here on this front idler. In Case IH, they did kind of an ingenious design. They have a little tool that sits in the back. I'll get it in a sec. Video of it in a sec. But they have this tool that sits on here, and you can release the over center of the lever, and it releases the gathering chains. Good idea, but if you notice how these are staggered, and if you take your time and pop that tool loose and you set them all, you notice how they're all getting different. I had them all lined up side by side, and now they're all off. So something's either skipping or something of that nature. Also, you might notice there's a lot of wear. See that first inch of the blade knife? There's 4 blades on these. There's like 4 knives. There's the flat blade. So I'll get underneath here and get that video for you. But yeah, there are 4 knives, 4 blades. But you can see right there in the leading edge of the front, that right there, that there's a big gap. Well, they always talk about in these slow-mo vision videos how the corn stalk's coming, you know, all the way back here and chop, 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 chop. No, it's not. That damn thing is literally just coming into that first inch. No corn head ever runs anything much past an inch long. I do not know why they build the rolls so long. I think it's a waste of time and effort. They have changed their rolls on these. I think they're all individual. They're bolts on all 4 blades now, which is a big improvement because the old 1083s actually ran a bolt clear through and a nut on the backside. So at least these are all threaded from all four blades. 4 blades a roll, but you could build these rolls this long and they would still do just as much work as they're doing now. That's a fail. That's a failure design, in my opinion. I mean, it cuts things off nice, but you get very quick wear. There is a company called Yield 360, and it's my understanding that Yield 360 was the guy that came up with that company, had actually owned Precision Planting. And then when Precision Planting got sold off, which I think AGCO's owning that now, the guy ended up coming out with this Yield 360 center, which Yield 360 center's got several things they came up with that are pretty good ideas. And I was looking at one. They sell it's basically like a bunch of overlapping brooms, brushes that go, and it's a different gathering chain, and it's really stiff brushes, but it seals all this up. And it also causes like a dead blow area, or forms like a dead blow area, so you don't hit steel with your ear of corn. You actually hit a brush, and I think it would probably save a lot of corn. And I think it'd make the header a lot more aggressive too. And I have talked about it a little bit in some previous videos, just to mention about what they call a chain roll. Well, up until date, the chain roll is exclusively for a John Deere head. Now they're going to be introducing it on the Case IHs, and it's my understanding that it only replaces the knife section. So if you put the Yield 360s on here, you had the updated front rolls, and you had the chain rolls, I think you could probably make a pretty good head out of these. I spoke before about this as well, and I said the chopping corn head's not very good for our particular lambs. What happens is it blows around a lot. So this particular corn head is not a chopping corn head, and they obviously sell a little cheaper without being chopping as well. The corn stalks, they tend to blow. We got a lot of terraces and a lot of waterways and things where, you know, things will end up just basically, it looks like snowdrifts of corn shucks. And the Yield 360 chain roll basically is going to give you the same results as a chopping, as it's going to break up in particles, but it still leaves that stalk in one piece. So if you just touch it with a cold, or even, you know, put it in your fingers, you could just snap it like a little tiny pencil or something. I mean, it's just much easier to break down that way. So I think they're on to something with those. I really think their broom kit's good, and I think if you had the international updated fronts, you could make a pretty good head out of this. This deal here, it's better than John Deere. It's your header height sensors. You know, there's your switch up there, but this swivels around both ways. It's chained. It's better than John Deere. Something else that they're offering that John Deere doesn't have is these hydraulic roll cones, which we ordered that option. And those hydraulic roll cones, I mean, just nothing lays over the edge. And if you look down the side profile of this head, you can see it's all square. Some of the older Deeres, they tend to bite this end out. And when you plant too close on a hillside, it actually causes problems. It's better this way. But the auger's not bad in these. John Deere does have a couple things that's a little different there. This is a good idea. This rear screen is a factory option, and that's keeps the crap off. I do like a John Deere just single power, single side usually. powers their head. You know, this dual-sided crap's a pain in the ass. This is just stupid in my opinion. I mean, that's your gauge for your stripper plates, and it gets covered with shit. Can't read it. John Deere all reads out in your instrumentation panel. That's a fail right there on International's part. There's your tool that sits there for the gathering chains. And these have a 6 spline. Now on the model year 17s, 40 series combines, they went to a 21 spline, which is what John Deere had. So it is a little bit more of a pain in the ass to hook this head up than it is to a John Deere combine. And if you're wondering where we got this head originally, there you go. But yeah, it's nice oil enclosed head. We've taken good care of it. I think their poly's a good design. I think that their frame's a good design. I mean, even International is even using a solid back. This is all box tube. John Deere, this is like a hollow C-channel. Actually, we've had Deere head one time we bought, and it actually bought new. Came out of the factory, the thing had a bow to it. So, good head. I mean, great head actually. It's just a piss poor row unit. And what the hell's a head without a row unit? It's junk. So, you know, this head, to make it right, to make it work, it needs the Yield 360, the updated gathering chains. And it needs the stuff down there all updated. I think if you did all those things to it, I think you could make a pretty good head out of it. We do need to do some final adjustments to our deck plates here too. I don't think they've really been right since day one. There's a clamp in there. You can see the cylinders down in there on that row. It runs a rod back and forth and opens and shuts everything. But anyway, that's just my 2 cents on these International heads. So stay tuned for more, and you'll see what we're gonna do for our harvest equipment this year, and lots more videos and all sorts of equipment in here right now. There's that 7200 there. I get some good commentary on that thing. You don't see too many of those. And there's the wagons and everything. So there's 4 of them. 2 Brent 744s. I don't know, I thought about getting rid of one of them, but one of the 744s trading out for something else. But stay tuned. I hate to give away everything in the videos. I like to build a little suspense, adds to the channel. This is a Parker 5500, 616 bushel, 21.5 tires. And I paid about $6,000 for that wagon. And we just got done putting all the new bushings in the front end of it. And then back here is a Demco 525, which would be about 525 bushels, somewhere in there. It's a nice wagon. It's also sitting on 21.5L 16.1 tires. And the paint's not very good on this wagon. But I only gave $2,500 for it, and everything's very, very tight. I think it mainly just sat out as a place for the grain cart to dump into. So older wagons, but hey, I don't have a lot of them, and they're very good wagons. But stay tuned for more. I'll have some cool things coming, hopefully. So anyway, appreciate you guys watching. So please comment, rate, and subscribe.